Hello, welcome to another Daily Digest video. I'm Merriam, and today I'm back with some more Standard, and I am playing a deck that is a little funny to me that I saw 5-0 League, because after the World Championships, it felt to me like this Standard format was a lot like Theros Block, where we had this powerful control deck, one powerful aggro deck, and one powerful mid-range deck be very dominant, and the deck that ended up best edging its way into that triumvirate was Jund Monsters, and this deck is sort of derivative of that one. So we got some good accelerants and Chandler Initiate, we got some powerful planeswalkers, good removal, and giant ridiculous threats like Glorybringer and Carnage Tyrant, and well, let's see how it goes. Unfortunately, I'm on the draw, right? Yeah, chooses to play first, but this is a fine hand. Got Initiate into Initiate, some removal, and hopefully we can ramp into this Vraska pretty quickly and use that to take over the game. Basic Planes, Renegade Map. Interesting. You don't see Renegade Map usually go with planes. Usually the Grixis colors want the cheap artifact. This is probably a stockpile deck, yeah. I was just going to say they get the swamp. Renegade Map does go with the stockpile, and stockpile makes artifact tokens if they want to improvise something. This is a mountain, so this summit will enter untapped. So but what would they might be improvising Herald of Anguish. That would make sense. Maybe they got a nice little black-white improvised token deck. Well, our mana creature getting fatal pushed is not great. I like them cycling Cast Out, kind of. So I like it on the surface because they'll have fewer removal spells for our threats, but that does signify that they have other removal. Maybe they just need lands, so we'll see if they... Okay, they make a third land drop. Oh, this is just Absent tokens. Does Absent tokens play Renegade Map? I've looked at some of those lists. I swear I don't remember seeing Map, but maybe I just missed it. Would not be that surprised. Well, we'll play another Initiate. Third one is kind of awkward. Maybe next turn I'll go with Braid plus second Initiate. Start setting up for Glorybringer or Vraska, but I don't really have a good target for this Braid. Oh, well then there's just a Scavenger Ground, so yeah, I think I'll just jam this Glorybringer. Not going to exert it, just going to mush for 4. Might die to like a Vraska's Contempt or a Cast Out, but yep. Okay, maybe I was supposed to just play Initiate and try to waste their mana. Yeah. God, maybe I got a little too excited there. Secret Cat is A-okay. Let's hope to draw a land here and just get him with this Vraska. Vraska should be really good in this matchup. Oh, yes. Really getting him. So, I could blow up this Cast Out and get a Glorybringer. That seems good to me. Do I want to exert this Glorybringer? It does take some pressure off my Vraska. I'm not expecting any haste things out of them. But yeah, I do just want to pare down their board a little. And then take 4. And I do want to just keep this Vraska down and open up the ability to -3 as often as I can. If they play, say, an Anointed Procession this turn, I can plus and then minus without worrying about too much. And speak of the devil. So let us plus and play another Initiate. Um, Maybe I did this poorly. Maybe I was supposed to use the initiate to pay for the second one, and then put the counters on the tapped one, so I have a 3/4 creature untapped. I guess I can just leave this other one untapped, and it doesn't make much of a difference. Just have to hope they don't go too crazy here. They're only on 4 lands, so just start to finish is about the worst I can think of. Make a bunch of 1/1s, which would be not the worst. Okay, they didn't have much of anything, and Vraska is impressive. So, my sideboard, as far as sweepers goes, I have these Bantu's Last Reckonings, which don't seem great. Sweltering Suns, however, does seem great. My removal seems rather poor, along with Noxious Gear Hulk. Do I want to go over the top of what they're doing? Like this. I think I definitely like the Duresses. I don't really like this card in the deck, Vance's Blasting Cannons, that your curve is very high, and there's just so many times you're going to cast this card early and not be able to cast a lot of the things off of it, and that you're basically never going to transform it. So I'd rather just have another Chandra. Doomfall as a removal spell is pretty bad, but as a duress, it's okay. The Deathgorge Scavenger has some utility in exiling things like Start to Finish or Embalm creatures, so I actually think Scavenger is good. How many Planeswalkers do I have? I think these Reckonings are actually going to be fine with the number of Planeswalkers in the deck. The question is what removal do I want to leave in? So right now I have these sort of weird one-ofs. I have Fatal Push as an option. I have Contempt as an option. The only reason I would want Contempt is potentially answering Planeswalkers. I think my deck's pretty good at answering Planeswalkers, though. Not sure. There's not really much I want to kill. So I think I'm going to leave in the ones that are best at dealing with Planeswalkers, because they have their own Vraskas, which would mean cutting push. Okay. Have to leave one push in, kind of awkward. Maybe I want another threat in that spot, but Cannons is just not a card I'm happy with in the deck, so this is an awkward hand. I have a bunch of answers to things, but I have no threats, and if this game goes long and they assemble their synergies, I'm not going to really be able to keep up. I have enough threats. I think I'm going to keep this. It's because I have the hand disruption to break up their synergies that I'm okay with this. I've also mulligan to 6, which helps when my hand is all answers. They scry at the bottom. Hoping I draw a mountain. Okay, well, that's not very good. So I could play the Thicket on turn 1 so that these all enter untapped. I think that's what I'll do. It doesn't matter. I can play the Summit on turn 1 and Thicket on turn 2 and still duress. The only change would be if I draw Channeler Initiate. If I draw another land, there's a chance I want to cycle this. I think that situation is more likely and more punishing, because I have a bunch of, again, just 1-for-1s and the 1 sweeper, so mitigating against flood is very important with a hand that's constructed like this one. No turn 2 play, that's good. So, okay, so there's another cycling land. And I'm going to play this one so I have double black, and then plan on cycling the thicket. So let's address. See what this one gets to take. My plan is to take Processions and Vraskas. I guess I have an answer to the first, Vraska. Oh, okay, well there is a Procession. Cast out I am not too concerned with. I think I want to deal with their threats. So let's take Procession, leave them with Cast out Vraska and 2 lands, Forest Evolving Wilds. So I imagine they will sack that Evolving Wilds here for a swamp. Maybe if they have Contempt. No, but they have Cast out, so probably for a Plains. They draw Anointer Priest. Well, now my Doomfall could just exile this Priest, which I rather like. And then I can deal with the Vraska with my Contempt. Priest is one of the subtly important cards in this deck because the life gain gives you that time to just set up and overwhelm them. And those early turns when you're just making a couple tokens a turn, that life adds up and gives you that extra turn and to really get the snowball going. We have another cycling land. So they have Vraska cast out X. Ooh, well, I guess they just get to cast this out. So rather than cast my Chandra into their cast out, I'm just going to play land and pass and cycle these thickets. I could cycle one thicket main maybe hit Channeler Initiate, but I'd rather hold up the Contempt, I think, just in case they have something unexpected. And ooh, Glorybringer. That's not a bad one. And Doomfall. That's an interesting one. Okay, so now I have a bunch of threats in my hand, but it's unclear how I want to sequence against their 2 known cards. I think I want to just cast the Doomfall, because that uses my mana and answers something of theirs. And I'm pretty good at answering the Vraska with my stuff, which sort of makes me want to take the cast out, but I'm light on lands, so I could, if I try to take that line, I could just end up getting sort of tempoed out, especially if the top of their deck is reasonably kind. But I don't want to play Chandra into the cast out again. So they have the land 6. Vraska. So if I think I'm just going to take the cast out and then let them Vraska make a 2/2, then Contempt it. They'll be left with a 2/2, and I'll have free reign to cast my things. Yep, there it is. Okay, there's another land. That does give me the... No, yeah, this is at 8. I was going to say I could Glorybringer, but that would be bad. I could Nissa here, but then they'd get to LD me. Yeah, I'm just going to Contempt. And see if their top 2 cards are any good. Because my hand is great. I feel pretty good as long as this turn does not go hideously bad. And 7th land is the exact thing I wanted to see. I'll get their attack for 2 in. And I'm just short of being able to Chandra in and cast one of these things. So, what is the one I most want them to cast out if they've drawn a cast out? I think Chandra is the one I'd most like to just get into play. And if I play something and they cast out and then draw something good, then Chandra could be a liability. I exiled a forest, so they can take 2. And no cast out. We are in excellent shape. Oh, Angel of Sanctions. That is a good one. Okay. How do I deal with this? So I think it's definitely with Glorybringer. I Glorybringer, exert, kill the angel, get back Chandra, plus the Chandra for mana, play Channeler Initiate, put the counters on Glorybringer. No, because this has Menace, so this still can't block. Because then they just get to... Oh, okay, there we go. I'm going to Glorybringer, leaving the Scavenger Grounds untapped. Attack, exert, kill the angel, then use the Chandra for mana, activate Scavenger Grounds, exile our graveyards, deal with the other half of the angel that way. Figured it out. I'm sure you're all just yelling at your screen that I'm a doofus. But, you know, it takes some of us a little bit longer. And that's okay. Attack and exert, please. Deal 4 damage. Please don't have anything to interact with this line of play, because I could just get destroyed. Angel of Sanctions is one of the better cards they could have drawn there, but I've drawn my 1 Scavenger Grounds, so had that one covered. Sacrifice this desert. Yes, I would like to sacrifice Scavenger Grounds to its own ability. That's what it does. Like I want to sacrifice other deserts. Okay, I know their hand already, so. Now, this is... I would say there's still a chance for them to get back into this game, because this is going to stay tapped. But they have to do something really good, and instead they have done nothing. Nothing is just about the opposite of really good. And Channeler Initiate. Honestly, I don't want to cast that. So why don't you just take 2, and then I'll play this one. Bam. More Planeswalkers. And untap this land. I should have activated a summit instead. If this land, although I'll play this, because I have slew, it doesn't much matter, but this is the one land that turns on the check lands. So it has some value. They do indeed have a Fatal Push, pretty good. But I'll play a 5th land anyway. It's going to help them stay alive. They're at 12. I only have 11 next turn on board, so tilt. Anointed Procession does not do much. They have a start to finish in their hand, maybe. Oh, that should just about do it. So let's target this one. And I'll just attack normally. In case they have something, I'll exert here to make sure I deal with that menace thing. If they don't have a removal spell, I can just plus Chandra and then play the other one, deal them 4. Nope, I'm not going to cast that one, but I am going to cast this one. Good enough? Yep. Okay, well, we are able to use our disruption effectively, stop them from getting anything going, and then our individually powerful cards took over. Pretty classic mid-range versus synergy-based deck battle, and we were able to come out on top. Little surprised how easy that second game was. Their draw didn't really come together to do anything good. I guess we just had immediate answers to everything they played, and they did flood a bit, so that makes sense. So we're on the draw. They mulligan to 6. We keep a 1-for-1 heavy hand, and they flood, so we're pretty easily able to 1-for-1 them down to effectively nothing, and then take over with Planeswalkers. So I guess not too surprising once I think about it, but there's a lot of powerful cards right now in Standard, and we seem to have this 3-deck metagame, but I don't know. Maybe eventually there's got to be room for something else, right? And maybe just good old Jund is the answer. So hope you enjoyed that one, and you can come back and see me on Wednesday. Bye.